Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, forgive the lateness. I said it, and then I went to go do some other work, and the other work started getting good as far as progress, and I checked the clock. I was like, oh shit. But anyway, so this video, this is not going to really be a call-in video. This is really just a video. I'm just trying to record it because there was a caller that called in and he wanted me to break down some of the game in the movie The Gentleman. You understand? So I wanted to do that real quick because it's a really dope movie, and you know there's some game in there. You know there's a decent amount of game in there. There's a decent amount of things going on in the movie, and I'm just gonna be able to show you the audio because this is a Hollywood movie. Shit, I hope the audio don't get me flagged and shit. You know, I hope they understand that it's just fair use and I'm just doing a breakdown. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that because, you know, YouTube love to do what the fuck they want to do. So it is what it is. All right. Shout out to YouTube. Yeah. But it's a couple things that I want to point out about the movie. The movie was directed by a guy named Guy Ritchie, and he's a film director and writer, producer, screenplay, writer, whatever, from London, UK, and all that. And he's made a bunch of decent movies, but the most notable movies, especially in the vein of The Gentleman, is his first movie or first major hit movie that I know of is called Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. Second movie was called Snatch, and that's when he was coming out a little bit. You know, he was like making waves in Hollywood, and he was able to get Brad Pitt in that movie. Jason Statham was also in that movie before Jason Statham kind of like his career kind of took off, and then and a bunch of other great players in the movie too. But you know, for the interest of time, I'm gonna just mention Brad Pitt and Jason Statham because those are the most notable ones. And then this movie to me is like the third movie in a trilogy, right? Because and Guy Ritchie has directed other movies. I think they hired him to direct Aladdin and shit. And he done a couple of other movies for Hollywood that, you know, they were cool or whatever, but they don't really like hit like these three movies hit. What's up? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I'm not putting on the phone lines. Like I said, this is just a video for the breakdown of The Gentleman. So what's up, Phil Brad? What's up, Jay Kaiser? What's up, Lando on Fleek and Wardell M? What up? So I just want to really talk about this movie real quick. And the thing I like about his movie progression, if you look at Lock, Stock, and you look at the story and you look at everything around Lock, Stock, it has a certain level to the movie. You understand? And then when you look at Snatch, it has another level. And then when you look at The Gentleman, it has another level. And to me, I feel like Guy Ritchie is kind of showing his development on a personal level through these three movies. Because the first movie, Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel, it was kind of like real gritty and tough and like real street and kind of hood. You understand? And everything was still kind of immature and everything was kind of, you know, like gritty and dirty. And then Snatch was a little bit more polished, but it was still really gritty. But this movie, The Gentleman, the way like what they call the production design, everything about this movie has a lot more pristine and polished like style to it. You know, everything from the wardrobe to the set to, you know, all the different props, you know, like the cars they drive in the movie, like I said, the wardrobe, the places that they are, everything looks cleaner and more polished. All the lines are everything is shot better. The editing, the color, everything's a lot better. You understand? However, you still get that like style, that Guy Ritchie style where, you know, the story is told in different sequences, kind of like, you know, Quentin Tarantino. You know, if you like Quentin Tarantino, I love Quentin Tarantino movies. And stuff like that. But those other movies that I'm talking about, if you haven't seen them, you got to see them. You got to take the time to see them. If you don't like them, then so be it. But I think you should take the time to see them, if you know, and really see what Guy Ritchie's about. Like I said, the first one is called Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. The second one is called Snatch, and this third one is The Gentleman. All right, and so a couple of things that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about again, and you know, and this is in reference not just to the movie style, but to the game of what's being expressed in the movie from my point of view. If you look at the movie, all of the main players of the movie, when you go to their house, like, in certain scenes, you get to see someone's house. In certain scenes, you get to see like a bar or any environment that they're at. You see everything is neat, organized, and clean. Like there was a scene where they showed a close up of, a guy, pouring a drink through it. He was pouring a tap for a beer, and the glass was like pristinely clean, and the beer had rich color, and everything around was, like this one dude, you saw his cabinet, and the cabinet, he had glass cabinets, and inside the cabinet you saw the plates and the glasses and the cups were like just laid out perfectly. You understand? And so everything was neat, clean, and organized. And I feel like the director was trying to say something about the people involved in the plot. You understand? These are businessmen. These are gentlemen. These are men who got their shit together. You understand? Meaning that everything about their life is neat, clean, and organized. So it shows the type of person that you're dealing with. You understand? I ain't no slouch. I'm not sloppy. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking slob, and I'm not lazy. You understand? If I'm gonna get my house clean, it's gonna be neat, clean, and very well organized. And that says something about a man. You understand? Like I told you guys, I did a video on my YouTube called 5 Things You Need to Have When She Comes Over. You understand? And I always try to drive home the point that you're not supposed to have these things to impress anybody or to impress the woman. You're supposed to have these things in place because you're trying to live a life that is defined by you. And then so what happens is when you invite somebody into your space, it triggers a protocol of what your life is like. You understand? So if you invite a woman to your house, because remember, every time we invite a woman into our world, into our apartment, into our home, into anything that belongs to us, we are giving her a sneak peek as to what our life, as to what the quality of our life is like, right? So when a woman comes into a neat environment, an organized environment, a clean environment, it sends a message to her that this is the bare minimum. You understand? So even if you a sloppy bitch in your own lifestyle, when you come to my house, you got to flip the script. When you and then that's the thing. If you know your house is neat and clean, and then you invite a woman to your space and she just leaving her shit all around and she dirty and shit and she don't clean it, or she don't offer to clean, or she don't offer to help with the laundry, she don't look like she's trying to uphold the protocol that you projected for her upon entering the situation, then you know for a fact that woman doesn't respect you. You understand? And that's a part of how it is. I like to use the example of like when you go to somebody's house and they tell you got to take off your shoes. Don't bring your shoes on the carpet. You understand? Take off your shoes and leave them at the door. That's not somebody just being, meticulous or being anal. A lot of people look like, oh, why are you so uptight? No. It has everything to do with maintaining a certain level of quality and cleanliness and organization within the environment that I create as a man. You understand? So when you come to my house, I tell you, take off your shoes. You take off your shoes. There's no questions asked. Because if you want to continue to be a part of my world, you have to follow my rules. And it's doubly important for dealing with a female. You understand? Because females, they always think that, oh, well, I have a vagina and I'm a woman, so I can get away with shit. And it's like, no, you just like everybody else. Anybody that come in my house, take off your shoes. You understand? And that's how it works. I don't need no dirt tracking from outside into my carpet and all that bullshit. So yes, you have to take off your shoes no matter who you are. You know, some chicks might think, oh, well, the shoes that I have on are sexy, so I'm gonna leave them on. No, take them off too. Yes, you got to take them off. You understand? So in the movie, it shows, like I said, the main pretty much the main characters of the movie. They're very organized. You understand? Very clean, very neat, and that says something. So as far as game is concerned, that's what you need to do too. You understand? You gotta look at your life, and your life be organized, your life be neat, your life be clean. You understand? Like Jordan Peterson said, like, you get up in the morning, make your bed. You understand? Or if you got a female, if a female spent the night, when you get up in the morning, you tell her to make the bed. You understand? Like, and she should be willing to do it because she should want to uphold the protocol of the neat and clean, organized life that you already set before she even came in. See what I'm saying? So that's one thing I want to talk about. Another thing is pretty much everybody in the movie is very well dressed. Now this is something, let me see. This is something you'll find in a lot of like English movies, like if you look at the Kingsman movies, if you look at like the James Bond movies and certain other type of spy thrillers and all that shit, especially the ones based, shot in the UK. Everybody got their Oxfords and they suits and their canes and their hats, and everything is perfect because it's like that whole, old English, the queen and the king and royal family, and everybody dresses a certain way. And so you'll find a lot of that in English movies. But in this movie in particular, everybody's dressed very well. You understand? There's even a group of like young hoodlums, and all of them have on these very well, almost look like they're tailored. They have on these plaid tracksuits, and they wear these tracksuits, and they're the tracksuit gang or whatever. And if you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But even those guys, they look very neat and well dressed, even though they're causing a lot of havoc in the movie, which is very exciting. I see more people coming in. I appreciate y'all, man. I was a little bit late, so I appreciate y'all, man, for coming back. But then again, like I said, this is not really like a live call-in show. I just needed to record it, so I'm kind of using the StreamYard as a way to record it. So I'm gonna record it and just leave it on. And then another thing is, okay, right. Sorry. So being well dressed is important. And there's also some dialogue about that too, about being dressed in your wardrobe. But being very well dressed is very important. You understand? Because this is what we talk about. This is what Lucario talks about in the book Looks Don't Matter, where it's like, yeah, we can't really control how we were made by genetics and by nature. However, we can control our appearance, right? We could control what we wear. We can control how it looks on us. We could control maybe our cologne. We could control our grooming, right? Make sure your hair's cut. Make sure your facial hair is always groomed, or leave it clean cut or whatever. Shave. Make sure you shave. All that type of shit. You understand? Being very well dressed is also another attribute of a man who understands his representation in the world. You understand? Another point is everyone in the movie has a certain level of calm, and they're very poised. Even when there are parts in the movie where people are like damn near threatening each other's lives and being very like malicious, even with malicious intent, and even through the dialogue, it's very like, like even while they're cussing and whatever, but even with that, you still see a certain poise. You still see a certain, calm. You still see a certain control of their demeanor. And that's very important as well, right? Where you, as a man, you can't let your emotions take you out of the character that you're trying to portray, the character that you're trying to put forth, right? Because, that's another part of like manhood and masculinity that a lot of us have trouble mastering. Even me at times, right? I'll be on here yelling at niggas and shit. So it is what it is. But it's something to definitely master. You understand? And if y'all been following me for all this time, y'all know I've been working on it, basically, is what I'm saying. All right. Yeah. I've been working on it. Right. So, but anyway, just like how you choose to have a clean house, just like how you choose to be well dressed, you also have to choose your demeanor, right? You have to choose the character of the man that you want to portray. And that choice is very critical. And here's why it's critical. The reason why it's critical is because you want to maintain a handle on your demeanor, your character, your countenance, your manner. You want to maintain a handle on that no matter what's going on. And what I mean by that is when people see that you're very reactionary, they realize that you have a certain weakness and that they can manipulate your demeanor. They can manipulate your countenance. So this is why a lot of guys have trouble, especially when they're walking up to a girl and approaching the girl, where like, you know, a dude will walk up real cool and confident and very poised to a chick. And sometimes the chick will notice that and she'll try to test. You know, I guess a lot of you know, a lot of guys call it shit test, but whatever. The point is, a chick will try to test if your demeanor is real. Right. So you could walk up to her all cool and shit, but then she'll say something sideways, or she'll say something funny, or she'll say something out of the way. Like, for example, I gave you guys an example the other day that when I approached this, I saw this thick white chick and I walked up to her. I said, hey, how you doing? You know, and I walked up to her real cool, you know, and I was like, hey, you know, hey, so, you know, how you doing? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so, you know, who do you know that would have a problem with us going out for a drink sometime real soon? And that's me on my cool shit, you know, being very poised. And then she turned around and said some slick shit to me. She was like, the universe. Now, I could have been on some the universe. Fuck you talk about, you know what I mean? I could have took it a certain way that could have forced me outside of the cool, calm character that I was portraying in the moment, right? In that little exchange between me and her, I chose a cool, calm, confident, charismatic character, you know, in my approach. Now I could have let that slick remark shatter that whole fucking thing. Be like, what the fuck you talking about? The universe? What do you mean? But nah, I kept it G. Like I kept my composure and I kept the character that I chose. That's the character I chose. So I was like, the universe. I was like, I never heard that before. And then she was like, yeah. She was like, you know, because I'm, you know, I like women. I'm gay. And I was like, oh, okay. I see what you mean. So it wouldn't be in your fate. Therefore, the universe would have a problem with that. And she was like, exactly. And both of us kind of had a little laugh. We chuckled about it. And I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate that. You have a good night. And she was like, yeah, you have a good night too. Boom. So why is that important? That's important because a lot of guys, we don't choose our character. And when I say this, I'm not saying to fake or to put on, but everybody has different sides. You know, everybody has different sides to them. Everybody has the charismatic side. Everybody has the silly side. Everybody has maybe the annoyed side or the frustrated side. Like there's different sides to us. We're all human. We're all complicated beings. I get it. Right. But what I'm saying is you must consciously choose the demeanor that you're trying to come across with. And you shouldn't let anything that anyone says to you affect that demeanor. You should be able to receive information, process it, maintain your character, maintain whatever demeanor that you're trying to maintain, and then use the parameters of the character that you're trying to maintain to respond in kind. You understand? So that same confident, cool character that asked the woman who would have a problem with us going out for a drink is the same one that took the information when she said the universe, and then I was able to give it back to her and then create a pleasant exchange between me and her, even though she was letting me know that she wasn't interested. You understand? So that means she knows that at the very least, whatever she says, no matter how slick, can affect my character. I'm unchanged. I'm unbothered because I know who I am and I know the character that I'm choosing to portray in this moment. You know, it's kind of like if I'm maybe a freedom fighter or something like that, I'm just a black guy chilling, minding my business, being cool, calm, collected, or whatever. And then some white dude is thinking to himself, well, if I go up to that black dude and call him a nigger, I can get him arrested today. You understand? But because I choose the demeanor that I wish to portray in real time, a white man will come up to me and call me a nigger, and I'll be like, well, either I can ignore him and maintain my composure and move on about my way. Or if he wants to engage in a conversation, I can engage in a conversation, but still keep my demeanor. Because if I go outside of my demeanor and I bring harm to that man for him calling me a name that he thinks might trigger me or whatever it is, that's him having emotional control over me and what I'm trying to portray in that moment in real time. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important. And that's a part of what the movie shows you. The movie, The Gentleman, this is what it shows you about, like, a choice in your poise, in your demeanor, in your manner, in the way you're acting in real time in the moment. You understand? And that brings me to the, another point, which is that pretty much everyone in the movie is very well spoken. Everyone in the movie is very, very well spoken, meaning that they have a decent command of the English language. And this is stuff that I talked about before, where, again, a part of how you express yourself to a female is very important, and the words you use. And if you sit here saying, so you think maybe we could go out Friday night, maybe. You see what I'm saying? That's different from going up to a girl, saying hi, smiling, say, hey, let me know something. Is there anybody in your life that would have an issue with us going out for a drink sometime? You see what I'm saying? Like that. That's smooth. That's you having command of your expression, your language, the words you want to use. You understand? And that means something. And that's another part of game in the movie. That's another part of game in the movie. I'm not appreciate y'all, but I'm not answering any questions. I'm just talking about the movie The Gentleman, and that's it, guys. So no questions in the chat. I mean, y'all could comment and have a good time in the chat if y'all want, but I'm not entertaining any questions today. So I'll just let y'all know that. All right. So let me see. Oh, and then another part of the movie is that there's a lot of little scenes where there are gestures, very subtle gestures of respect, boundaries, certain little things that you see in the movie that's nonverbal, and you're like, oh, okay. Like there was a scene where the boss dude is chilling, and he's looking over some papers, and his right hand is there with him, helping him to look through the papers. And then somebody was coming into the room to try to have a meeting or to try to get his attention, whatever it was. And before the dude coming into the room, before he could even open up his mouth, the boss's right hand looked him dead in the eye and just put one finger up like this. And dude stood there, right there in his tracks, until until they gestured again for him to actually enter the room and to begin speaking. You understand? And that's just some subtle man-to-man shit, like just based on boundaries, based on respect. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like if you carry yourself a certain way based on choice, based on purpose, based on a reason, where your life is just not all over the place, where people could just step into your space and just start asking you questions and shit. Like, this ain't, we're not kids. You understand? And that's why I love this movie so much, because there's a lot of little things in there where the game is heavy, and you may not even notice it. You may not even notice it. Like there's a lot of little, like there's two guys in a house having a conversation, and the one dude is like, yo, I need to go to the restroom. And before he goes to the restroom, he's like, hey, do I need to take off my shoes? And he was like, nah, you're good. The bathroom is straight through there. He was like, as long as you're going straight through there, you don't need to take off your shoes, because there's no carpet from the path from here to the bathroom. But the respect part comes in, because he asked him, hey, I'm headed to the bathroom. Do I have to take off my shoes or anything? He's like, nah, you good. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like just little subtle shit like that to let you know when you talking to a man, and you're a man talking to a man, there's certain levels of respect. There's certain levels of, courtesies and certain other things that we have to address and acknowledge. You understand? When you carry yourself a certain way, you train others how to treat you based on the level of respect that you carry yourself with. You understand? You're producing a protocol So people know it. It's like, people know not to fuck with you, basically. You understand? People know not to go out of their way to disrespect you because they see the way you carry yourself. You understand? I mean, you got some dudes who carry themselves where there's no rhyme or reason. There's no purpose. And for whatever reason, people are more inclined to disrespect them. People are more inclined to say slick shit to them because they feel like, he ain't about nothing. I've been to his house. His house is messy and it smells bad and he got shit all over the place. Why would I even think of taking off my shoes in his house when his house is dirtier? His house is dirtier than the bottom of my fucking shoe. You see what I'm saying? But when somebody comes to your house and they see a clean, organized, neat house, they're like, oh shit. Hey, do I need to take off my shoes? You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. So when you choose to carry yourself a certain way, you provide an unspoken protocol on how you should be treated. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with females. You choose to carry yourself a certain way, and these females will notice. Like I always talk about, a female always looks at your shoes, she looks at your hands, and she looks at your mouth. If any of those parts of your body look untidy or shabby in any way, you respect is lost automatically. So if you got dirty old shoes, beat up shoes, respect loss. If you have dirty unclean hands, respect loss. If it's something wrong with your grill, something wrong with your mouth, you got your teeth that like extra yellow or fucked up, or your mouth looks a certain way, or you got a bunch of shit in the corners of your mouth or whatever, you got food in the side of your mouth, you got fucking spinach in your teeth or some shit like that, respect loss. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's a psychological thing. And then there's one other thing that I wanted to point out before I get into the dialogue from the movie is the difference. So the main character whose name is Michael, he played by Matthew McConaughey. He has a wife. And one interesting thing that I like about the movie is the way him and his wife relate to each other, the way they talk to each other. You understand? They definitely have a certain culture that is reserved just for them. You understand? And there's a level of intimacy, there's a level of respect, there's a level of, like sexiness, there's a level of like charisma between them. And you always see the difference between how she speaks to him when they're alone and how she speaks to him when there's people around. You understand? She clearly has a little bit more respect when there's people around. And especially when they're at certain events, because they showed them at certain events, rubbing elbows with like some, rich people and all this type of shit. And then they showed them in other situations. But there's always like a little thing in between them where there's always respect. And the respect is it's a different kind of respect when there's people around. There's different kind of respect when it's just them. So I wanted to mention that as well. You see, you as a man, and and I talked about this a while back when I was talking about how these passport dudes be running to other countries to find women who are more submissive. And what I was trying to explain is, as a man, you have to create a certain culture in your relationship with your woman. You understand? And this is what the vetting process is about. This is why it should take a while before you call a woman your girl, because she should show herself to be a willing participant in the culture that you create as a man, right? The level of respect, how she talks to you, the little maybe innuendos and inside jokes and little subtle ways that you express yourself between you and your woman that should only make sense between you and her. And that's what the culture is. You understand? And then that culture develops into other things when you bring kids into the picture and things like that. Like I saw a video the other day where a father, I forgot exactly what it was, but something happened in the family. I think one of the kids they graduated or something. And the father brought the whole family together. You understand? In the house, they brought the whole family together. And Nobody asked no questions. He said, gather around, family. And not one person was like, hold up, I'm on my phone, or hold up, I'm playing video games, or hold up, I gotta do. No. As soon as Pop said, hey, gather around, family, everybody came. Mother and all the children, they all came around. And the father led a prayer in gratitude for what had happened to the family. And then at the end of it, he had everyone in the family recite like a family like motto or something that was talking about, gratitude and blessings and being blessings unto others and loving each other in the family, and you understand, and being a part of something greater than themselves and all this shit. And everybody, the kids and the wife, recited the motto. You understand what I'm saying? And I saw that and I thought that shit was dope, because that's a man, like I said, creating a culture for his family. And the thing about culture is that culture is a collection of like traditions and, information and, habits and practices that, that people get used to over a certain amount of time. You understand? And you can create a culture of destruction, or you can create a culture of a positive culture to build and to create strength in your family as a unit. And what I'm trying to say is that as men, when we're neat, when we're well dressed, when we're organized, when we move with a purpose, when we understand who we are, masculine identity membership coming soon, when we understand who we are and we make these conscious choices in real time, this is how we create a culture. From the very first time that you meet a woman and you choose that demeanor that I'm talking about, and you're well dressed and you're well spoken and you maintain your poise, it's the beginning of her seeing the culture of who you are as a man. Then when you invite her to your home and your home is neat, clean, organized, and it smells good, that's more culture that she's being exposed to. And then your consistency maintains that culture. So as she gets to know you as a man, she knows the quality of man that she's dealing with, and that begets the culture. So she knows how to treat you. So later on, there's less misunderstandings. There's less arguments. There's less disrespectful banter from your bitch. There's less disrespectful banter from your woman. Why? Because she understands the culture that you're creating. I'm not saying this is the easiest thing to do, but what I'm saying is it starts with you, the man, though. That's where it starts. And for a lot of us men, we get with women hoping that out of nowhere, that culture of respect and consistency is just going to develop on its own because we're 50-50 and blah, blah. No. That culture has to come from you, the man. You understand? That's why so many men run to all these other countries, because, oh, yeah, I want to go to Thailand because the women over there are so submissive. I want to go to South America because the women over there are so submissive. They have no choice but to be submissive because that's how they were raised. Their fathers and their brothers and their uncles raised them that way. And what I'm saying is, if you want that type of cooperation and that type of submissiveness, it has to start with you. But anyway, that's just one other thing I wanted to talk about. Now, so let me get into the actual dialogue of this shit, man. All right, so like I said, this is just dialogue, and I'll explain the scene or whatever, to give you guys an understanding of what's going on. All right, here we go. Hold on. I think the thing is not playing inside the speak. Yeah, it's on the speakers. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Boom. Okay. All right, so this is the very beginning of the movie, and there is just like an intro of the main character, and he's talking. All right.
If you wish to be the king of the jungle, it's not enough to act like a king. You must be the king. There can be no doubt.
All right. And this is the first fucking minute of the movie. This is like, this movie, I swear to God, look, I'm gonna play that shit again, bro. I gotta play it again. I don't even remember what you said. Hold on.
If you wish to be the king of the jungle, it's not enough to act like a king. You must be the king.
If you wish to be the king of the jungle, It's not enough to act like the king. You must be the king. Huh? What? Man. And check this shit out.
There can be no doubt.
There can be no doubt. Masculine identity membership coming soon, motherfuckers. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Because doubt causes chaos and one's own demise.
There can be no doubt because doubt causes chaos and one's own demise. Huh? Huh? This is why when you approaching anything in life, you have to know who you are. When you approaching a new job, a new business venture, a woman, when you're approaching anything in life, you have to know who you are. And if you have any doubt, it can lead to your demise. You understand? Because like I said before, if you don't know who you are and somebody think they can say something to you to trigger you to act outside of your character, they have control over you. It's like the white man running up on a black man calling him a nigger because he wants to try to get him arrested. If I know that the word nigger triggers you, then I'm gonna run up on you and call you a nigger and then make you act out of character so you can get arrested today. But if I know I'm a king and you call me a nigger, how is that going to affect me if I know I'm a king? I know I'm a king. So I don't give a fuck what you have to say because I'm not going to fall out of my character just to be triggered by something you said because I have no doubt in what and who I am. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to play it one more time and then let it ride. Because we got to get to another part.
If you wish to be the king of the jungle, it's not enough to act like a king. You must be the king. There can be no doubt. Because doubt causes chaos and one's own demise. Hello, my love. It's date night tonight.
All right, now in this scene, just to set up the scene so you understand what's going on, this scene is the same guy talking in the beginning, the boss dude. His name is Michael. He's calling his wife up and reminding her that they have a date. They have a date tonight. Now, look, this is his wife. This is not some chick he just matched with off of Tinder. This is his wife. This chick, she's already his woman. But listen to how he sets up the date night.
Because doubt causes chaos and one's own demise. Hello, my love. It's date night tonight. 9 o'clock, you and I at River Cafe.
You hear that shit? You hear that shit? You hear how sure he sounds? Like it's, hello, my love. It's date night tonight. 9 o'clock, you and me, Riverside Cafe. Simple. No asking you, so where do you want to eat tonight, babe? What do you feel like having tonight, babe? No, it's date night tonight. You and me. 9 o'clock, Riverside Cafe. Nope, and she's already his wife, though. You see, man, y'all not feeling me, man.
Making a splash with the gentry.
All right, so this is another scene. This is another scene where there's basically if Michael is the protagonist, the guy that he's talking to in this scene is the antagonist, and I don't want to give too much of the movie away. I still want you guys to go watch it. But basically, they're talking back and forth, and they're kind of like in this kind of world, like men don't fight, but sometimes they have what they call a war of wits. You understand? Meaning like a battle of smarts, like kind of like a rap battle, if you will. But they're not rapping. They're just speaking. But they're using metaphors and other things to kind of get their point across, right? So this is him talking to the guy, and they're having this dinner and so on and so forth.
Oh, I like to make a splash whenever possible.
Well, you also seem to understand the significance of a proper attire.
You see that? He said to him, "Oh, I see you made a big splash with, getting friendly with the gentry," meaning that he did some shit where he did like a fundraiser deal for some important people in their network. And so he's like, oh, I see you made a splash with the Gentry. And he was like, and then the dude said, I like to make a splash whenever possible. You understand? Then he said, I see you also understand the ownership of the having a good wardrobe. You understand? And like I said before, being well dressed, being neat, being clean as a man, representing yourself a certain way.
Indeed, I do. I believe a sense of ownership is vital in every aspect of life, perhaps never more so than when it comes to wardrobe.
I believe an aspect of ownership is vital in every aspect of life, even with the wardrobe. Ownership. See, words, that's why I tell you guys, man, like whatever you got to do, study some more vocabulary, read some more books. But when you understand words, you understand what things mean on different levels. So he said ownership. When you own something, you put your name on it. When you buy a house and you say you own a house, they put your name on the deed. So that's not just a piece of property anymore. That is, Miles Cunningham's house. So it's like a stamp. It's an ID stamp on that thing. So it's the same thing he's talking about. Even in wardrobe, there has to be, I believe, in a level of ownership, even when it comes to wardrobe, meaning that I own the way I look. I own how I choose to dress. I own my appearance, my identity, masculine identity coming soon. My identity is a part of my appearance, the way I choose to project and express my outward appearance to the world. It's a choice. I own it. I don't just get dressed based off a fluke. I get dressed, and my wardrobe is a reflection of who I am. I own it. Let me just play that back real quick. Hold on. Let me see.
I believe a sense of ownership is vital in every aspect of life, perhaps never more so than when it comes to wardrobe. For every look, there is a season, and for every season, a strategy.
You see, for every look, there is a season, and for every season, there is a strategy. You understand? So you motherfuckers just be getting dressed because I'm trying to look fresh. No, you get dressed with strategy. And what did he talk? He said you gotta own your wardrobe, right? Your identity is on your wardrobe, and you have a look for every season, and with every season is a strategy. So what is he saying? Your identity ultimately affects your strategy of life. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. The dialogue can go over a lot of niggas' heads, bro.
Indeed, I do. I believe a sense of ownership is vital in every aspect of life, perhaps never more so than when it comes to wardrobe. For every look, there is a season, and for every season, a strategy.
Now starts the alpha dance.
So this is the narrator talking. He said this is what's called the alpha dance. So it's the two guys, the two like powerful men going back and forth.
They're not really talking about clothes, Raymond. Oh,
you see what I'm saying? The narrator's letting you know they're not really talking about clothes. You understand it? And it's exactly what I'm trying to express to you guys. Yes, yeah, I see you have a good wardrobe, and then yes, ownership of wardrobe is very important, and blah blah. They're not talking about actual clothes. They're talking about themselves as men. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Every choice you make, the way you look, the way your house is, the way you smell, the way you choose to express yourself to the world, the words you use, your language, everything speaks to your identity.
fucking no. They're like a pair of old doggies sniffing round one another's intellectual arseholes. It's a good, old-fashioned cock-off, Raymond.
Michael, I'm looking forward to doing business together.
So that's really what it is. Both of them are jawing back and forth, but they want to do business together. But check this out.
I'm looking forward to doing business together.
May we excuse ourselves?
Yes, please.
Notice, he says, I'm looking forward to doing business together. And this is the wife of the antagonist, not Michael. This is the wife of the antagonist. Notice her the way she expressed, she said, may we excuse ourselves? Because it's getting ready for them to leave. You understand? That's how a woman speaks. That's how a woman should speak. If your woman is doing anything more than that, you might have problems in your life. You understand? But she's saying, may we be excused? Like, that's some old etiquette shit that a lot of people don't even know about these days. Before you leave a conversation, before you leave a table, you should ask to be excused. You don't just get up and leave. You understand? I remember learning that growing up because I'm Jamaican, and Jamaica is was colonialized British. So a lot of things we learned was like super etiquette. You know, like you can't have your elbows on the table, you can't burp at the table, you can't dance, you can't sing at the table. And if you're leaving the table, you have to ask to be excused. And again, this has a lot to do with respect and also self-respect, because there's a culture involved, and my willingness to uphold the culture is an indicator of my level of self-respect. And that also indicates the type of respect that I deserve in return from whoever it is I'm dealing with. But that's the, you know.
We should say goodnight to our host.
And then she says we should say goodnight to our hosts because it's time for them to go. You understand what I'm saying? But now what you're going to hear is, this is Michael talking to his wife. Listen to this.
So what do you think?
I'm not sure.
See, and this is something very delicate as well, because this is the main character going to his wife for counsel. Now, ultimately, the decision is his, but he goes to his wife for counsel. See, there's a difference between letting a woman run your life and then choosing a very intelligent and observant and submissive woman who has your best interests at heart. And then you go to her for counsel. Now, listen to this.
He's a fox. Foxes have a predictable nature. Trust this Jew about that, Jew. If you let him in the hen house, you can expect blood and feathers everywhere.
You see that? He says, you know, what's your opinion? And she's like, this guy's definitely a fox, and foxes have a predictable nature. So if you let him in the hen house, there will be blood and feathers everywhere. Now, she is giving her opinion based on what she's observed from the man that he might do business with. And but that's it. She's not like, nah, nigga, you can't do that. And you ain't. Nah, she's expressing herself in a very eloquent and thoughtful way to her husband, who she wants the best for.
Looks like the deal's.
All right, so this is the next scene, and this is him again letting his wife know of the status of the deal, because mind you, her input didn't necessarily affect his actual decision. Her opinion and her counsel gave him something to think about as he decides to do what he wants to do anyway, because he's the man and he makes the last choice. You understand? So listen to this.
Looks like the deal's going through.
You see that? The deal is going through. So I didn't come to counsel to get you to fight my battles or to make my decisions for me. The deal's going through. You understand? I just needed to talk to you so I can see angle. See, that's the beauty of women. Women's minds are there have been studies that show that women's minds, the neurons in the female brain are connected on a horizontal, or like they fire horizontally, meaning the electrical impulses of the brain, they fire in a horizontal way, meaning they go across. And the electrical impulses of the male brain usually go in either in a straight line or vertically, meaning that we get straight to the point. We choose the direction. And then it's a woman's perspective that gives us a line of sight to see things that we don't see, because they think on a horizontal plane where we think in a more direct plane. You understand that? So that's why choosing the right woman is important. and choosing a woman who has your interest at her heart is very important, right? So this is them talking about the deal, and the deal is going through. Why? Because he chose to make the deal go through. You understand?
Looks like the deal's going through.
Second thoughts?
No second thoughts.
She's asking him, "Are you having second thoughts?" Like she's a counselor. She's not a friggin', you know, she's not trying to be dominant in the situation. She's allowing him counsel. She's discussing with him. So to try to help him see anything that he might have missed or whatever. You understand?
I like middle age. I like gentrification.
So he's talking about him selling the business is him moving into middle age. You know, he's retiring and whatever.
Private schools, fine wines, and a spoonful of caviar to help my medicine go down. But most importantly, I'm looking forward to spending more time with you.
Of course you are.
And she's like, I like when he compliments her and she says, "Of course you are." Again, choosing the right woman, because he likes a woman who's confident. He likes a woman who knows that her husband thinks he's sexy and she don't have to second guess the shit because she ain't got low self-esteem like some of these other females. But anyway.
Look, I don't want you knocking around here feeling all unemployed and lost with yourself.
You see that? She says, "I don't want you." And there's a lot of like, you know, English, English type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like slang and shit like that you might not totally get on first watch. But she says, "I don't want you knocking about here feeling all, you know, unemployed and shit." You know how. So what she's saying is that like sometimes when a man, you know, stops working and retires and goes into a leisure life, they start to feel like restless and unemployed and like they lack purpose. You know, there's no reason to wake up in the morning, things like that. So again, this is her expressing her desire for his well-being, his best interests at heart. You understand what I'm saying? She says, "I don't want you, you know, walking about here feeling unemployed or dejected or," you know what I'm saying? Let me pull it back just a little bit. Shit is stupid.
Oh, fuck me.
Employed and lost with yourself.
Oh, fuck me. Most wives would beg their other halves to get out of this game, but not you.
That's because I know you, darling.
You see that? He says, most wives would be begging for their man to retire and spend more time with them, but not you. And her reply was, "It's because I know you, darling." You understand? That's another thing you're looking for as a man, as a gentleman, right? You're looking for a woman that knows you. However, how is a woman going to know you? How is a woman going to know you? That's the question. A woman knows you by you being exactly who you are, by you making the choice to be the man that you actually choose to be, by you being honest about your identity, by you being a champion of your identity. And so when she you know, she's going through the vetting process and she's getting to learn, she's learning you and she's getting to know you. She's getting to understand the consistency of your character and your identity. Then later on, she is why you go to her for counsel. See, a lot of weak-minded dudes go to women for counsel, or they discuss things with women because the woman is cute, because the woman has a fat ass, or because the woman make their dick hard when they look at her. No. This is why the vetting process and getting to know a woman is so important, because when you're getting to know a woman, she's getting to know you. And if she's submissive and if she has your best interests at heart, you can then go to her for counsel, because she's going to tell you what you need to hear because you have shown her who you are. So she'll use all the information in the scenario and tell you what you need to hear based on the man that she knows that you are. I'm gonna pull that back again. This is some deep shit.
Oh, fuck me. Most wives would beg their other halves to get out of this game, but not you.
That's because I know you, darling.
Most wives would beg their other halves to get out of this game, but not you. That's because I know you. A lot of you, there's a lot of guys out there that are with women that don't know them. And the reason why the women don't know them is because they don't know themselves. So they was never able to really express their identity to their woman. So they've been in a marriage for so long, and they with a woman that doesn't know them and don't care to know them either, because you just been lying the whole fucking time, because you too much of a pussy to let your woman know your true identity. Crazy.
Look, you'll have to do this elegantly, love. If word spreads that you're getting out, that could read as weakness.
You see that shit? She's giving him more counsel. Because she understands him, and she understands the game that he's in. Very intelligent woman, right? Who knows her man, and not just knows her man, but knows about the business that he's in.
And if you
She said you have to do this very elegantly, because if word gets around that you're selling the business and you're getting out of the lifestyle, it might be read as weakness. You understand? So, and you got to be careful about that.
you smell smoke, it's because there's a fire.
If you smell smoke, it's because there's a fire.
And that could get expensive.
And that can get expensive.
So you're going to have to stamp that out without any gentrification.
So you're going to have to stamp that out without any gentrification. So she's saying, when people start finding out that you're selling the business, that you're getting out of the life, motherfuckers going to come for you. But you have to remember to maintain your prestige and take care of any motherfuckers that might come for you or cause any problems with intelligence and elegance. That's what she's reminding her husband.
Not you, love.
See, not you. If you're gonna get anything taken care of, I don't want you to do it.
Don't you do anything messy.
Don't you do anything messy. Because again, she knows her husband and she's trying to express to him what she feels is truly in his best interest.
That's why you've got people, remember?
She's reminding him you got people. So if somebody coming for you because they found out you getting out of the game and they might think you weak and all this and all that, remember you got goons. So if you're gonna retaliate, remember to use your goons, because we can't have any dirt on your character out here, because you my husband and I love you and I want us to maintain what the fuck we got. Right? That's what submission is. Submission is not about a woman necessarily, being a fucking, a doormat. Like a lot of these foolish females will try to use that narrative. Like, oh, I ain't submitting. I ain't no doormat and blah, blah, blah. I ain't just gonna let no man walk over me. No. True submissiveness is a woman who knows her man, knows his business, and is 110% dedicated to the mission and dedicated to the welfare of her man, because she knows once her man is good, she's good. As long as her man is doing good, she's doing good. That's what submission is, because she understands his mission, and she understands that his mission is the thing that takes care of her. So she's interested in his best interest, but really she's interested in her best interest.
I fucking love you, babe.
You see that shit? And then the next thing he says to her is, I fucking love you, babe. And I'm not even gonna ruin it, because there's something that happened in the scene. If I was to show y'all the actual video, like the footage, you would see how cool it was. But he's telling her, I fucking love you. You understand? Because he understands the power, he understands the significance of the type of woman that he's married to.
Of course you do.
And she's like, of course you do. Again, that confidence. And that's that culture between him and her, right? Where he admires her and she's confident about his admiration, but she knows that she's a submissive character within the frame, but she still has that sassiness. But that sassiness is only between them. She don't behave that way in public or outside for people to know. That sassiness and that confidence is only between him and her. You understand? Because she's fully submissive to the situation and to her husband.
Any chance?
And that's another thing between them. When he's trying to smash, he always looks at her and says, any chance?
Nah, you can wait.
And she's like, nah, you can wait.
I've got a red hot whiskey with a finger on the trigger.
She's saying that she has a customer, some Russian lady, because she also has a business herself, and she has a Russian customer lady that she needs to take care of, on some business shit.
Got to deal with it.
I don't mind the two of yous.
And then he says to her, I don't mind the two of you. You understand? So that's him letting his wife know, I'm down for a threesome anytime you're ready. You know what I'm saying? You find me a nice little joint. We could get this going. And that's him being honest with his wife. Unlike so many other men who would never dare to say some shit like that. She's like, yo, I got this hot Russian chick that I got to go, take care of her on some business shit. And he's like, well, I could take the both of you. You understand? He got the balls to say that to his woman. How many dudes out here that's married would have the balls to say some shit like that to their wife? And I know this is a movie. But I've said shit like this to my women. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm dealing with women that know exactly who I am. Just like in this movie portrayal, this man is dealing with a woman who knows who he is. So he doesn't have to hold his tongue if he wants to say something slick about a threesome or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? It means something. All right, let's go.
Go on, fuck off.
And that's more of that sassiness. She tells him to fuck off. And that's more of a, a lot, if we said that in here in America, oh, fuck off, it sounds like something super disrespectful. But in the UK, depending on how it can be used as a term of endearment as well. You understand? But again, that's between him and his wife. She would never say that shit in front of somebody else.
To be fair, it's very nicely played with 100 grand's worth of free car parts.
Okay, so there's another scene in the movie where there's a second protagonist he's trying to get a meeting with Michael. And because he knows that Michael's wife works with cars, he comes at her with like $100,000 worth of car parts. You understand? And he gives them to her as a gift. And so he's, she's like, why would you come at me like this? What's the price? And he says no charge. And she was like, okay, then what's the cost? And she was like, and the guy was like, a meeting with your husband. And she was like, well, I can't make you no promises, right? And that's what the narrator is explaining right here. Listen.
Because everyone knows that the way... To be fair, it's very nicely played with 100 grand's worth of free car parts. Because everyone knows that the way to a man's heart is through his wife.
See, that's very important right there. That's an important theme of the movie. The way to a man's heart is through his wife. You understand? The way to a man's heart is through his wife. So, in this like gangster type of world, it's like, if you're dealing with a man, then you deal with him directly. You don't talk to his wife. And a lot of you guys understand this too. A lot of you guys, if you meet someone, like an acquaintance, and then he bring his girl, don't be like talking to his girl all extra and having side conversations with his girl and all that type of shit. You see her and then you don't see her. You understand what I'm saying? You shake that man's hand and you say hello to his wife and then you keep it moving. But then you got some other niggas, they be having these they be trying to, converse with the man's wife while the man is there. And that's one of these things that this movie kind of shows you about how you conduct yourself as a man in these different kind of worlds, right? Where if I'm doing business with a man, I'm doing business with that man. His wife don't got nothing to do with this shit. And for me to say something to his wife outside of dealing as far as business with this man, it's highly disrespectful. But here we go.
Thank you for taking the time to see me.
All right, so the narrator lets you know that it was a bold move. I mean, let me pull it back a little bit. Hold on.
To be fair, it's very nicely played with 100 grand's worth of free car parts. Because everyone knows that the way to a man's heart is through his wife.
Right. So he's explaining that. And he also said that it was a very bold move. But bold is another word in this respect. Bold is another word for disrespectful. But now this is the next scene where, like I said, antagonist is meeting with the protagonist, Michael, right? And he is trying to make an offer for his business.
Thank you for taking the time to see me, Mike.
So you said, thank you for taking the time to see me. So this is them in the meeting.
Oh, Lord George senses best.
I only took this meeting because Roz asked me to.
You see, he said, I only took this meeting because Roz is his wife. It's because Roz asked me to.
Make sure to never approach her like that again.
Make sure to never approach her like that again. What? Because think about it, right? The dude came at her and gave her $100,000 worth of car parts. So it's not even that the gesture was disrespectful, because he came and brought her $100,000 worth of goods that she could use in her business. However, it was the motive and the strategy behind the gesture that was disrespectful. Because I'm a man. If you want to talk to me as a man about business, you don't fuck with my wife, bro. Even if it's on some peaceful shit, or even if it's on some, you bringing value to my wife. You don't talk to my wife. And we gangsters too, because the business that they're in is some gangster shit. Again, I don't want to give too much, because like I said, I want y'all to watch and enjoy the movie. But we all gangsters out here, and you gonna say some shit to my, you gonna bring my wife something and talk to her behind my back because you're trying to get a meeting with me? Nah, bruh. Nah, but I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit. Hold on.
Because everyone knows that the way to a man's heart is through his wife.
Thank you for taking the time to see me, Michael. Lord George senses best.
I only took this meeting because Roz asked me to. Make sure to never approach her like that again.
Make sure to never approach her like that again. Now, another thing I want to talk about with that little piece of dialogue, you have to understand what I was talking about before, about being calm and being poised and being well spoken. Okay? Being calm, and because he's fucking angry. Okay, let's be clear. Let's be clear. He is angry as shit that this motherfucker went behind his back and hollered at his wife to try to set up a meeting with him. He's pissed the fuck off. Like on some gangster shit. That's the type of shit that could get you hemmed up or murdered out here. You understand what I'm saying? But notice his calm and his poise in letting him know, listen, I only took this meeting because my wife asked me. And you must never approach her like that again. Bruh.
George senses best.
I only took this meeting because Roz asked me to. Make sure to never approach her like that again.
Make sure to never approach her like he's pissed off. He wants to shoot this nigga in his face right now, bro. But that's a bad business move, and it's only going to take him out of character. So he maintains his poise, but he lets him know for sure, don't you ever approach my wife like that again. Ever. All right, so let's go.
I meant no disrespect.
See, that's the first thing he said. I meant no disrespect. Because you knew it was disrespectful, nigga. You knew it was disrespectful. But he did it anyway because your pussy ass couldn't figure out how to, have enough self-respect to come to me directly to get a meeting with me. You understand? So you went through my wife. That's disrespectful shit.
Make sure to never approach her like that again.
I meant no disrespect.
How can I help?
I understand you're getting out.
Getting out. Getting out of what? Bed? My head? The closet? Don't flirt with me, Dry. I'm a busy man.
That's just more like like I was talking about, command of language and using innuendo. He's like, getting out of what? What are you talking about? And and that's another thing too. When sometimes we make moves and people approach us and shit. We can't always assume that they know what the fuck they talking about. So I'm like, well, you making all these assumptions. You telling me I'm getting out. Getting out of what? Getting out of bed, getting out of like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put all my cards on the table when I don't know exactly what the fuck you talking about. You understand? So be straight up with me. Be straight up with me, bro. Like say what you mean. Say it from the chest.
I hear you were getting out of the game. And I would like you to consider an offer.
Look, let me stop you right there so you don't waste any more of your precious breath, young man. This is not a discussion for the two of us. Unlike the salt and pepper, it's not on the table.
The offer's not on the table. And that's exactly why you tried to go through my wife to get a meeting with me, because you knew I wasn't going to fucking do business with your ass. You understand? And the fact that you did that disrespectful shit by going through my wife, that makes me even more resistant to do business with you, because I already see that you're an underhanded, disrespectful motherfucker. Huh?
This is a big number. Cash.
All right, so he types it into like a calculator and he shows it to him, and he's like, this is what I'm willing to give you cash.
I am not for sale.
Okay, and again, remember, he's angry at this guy for hollering at his wife and offering her shit just to get the meeting. And he also knows that this is not the type of guy he wants to do business with. So he's very angry, but notice his poise, notice his calm. He's like, I am not for sale. You understand?
And even if I was, you're several zeros short. Now, you may be able to buy your man sausage for that, but to me, it just looks rude at breakfast.
So instead of just telling him, nigga, you ain't got enough money, get the fuck out of here, he says, you're several zeros short, and that amount of money may be able to buy your men sausage at breakfast, but to me, it just looks disrespectful. Wait, I'm going to play it back. I don't think I got that right. Hold on. Let me play it back a little bit.
And even if I was, you're several zeros short. Now, you may be able to buy your man sausage for that, but to me, it just looks rude at breakfast.
Right. He said, you may be able to buy your men sausage with that, but to me, it just looks rude at breakfast. You understand? Like, when you understand language and you know how to say shit differently, it sets you apart from most people. You understand what I'm saying? It sets you apart from a lot of people. You understand it? Having a command of language and being able to express yourself in a different way. Because look, he could have easily just said, nah, nigga, you ain't got enough money. He said, you're several zeros short, and you may be able to buy sausage for your men, but to me, it just looks disrespectful at breakfast. Like, yo, bars, nigga. Anyway.
And even if I was, you're several zeros short. Now, you may be able to buy your man sausage for that, but to me, it just looks rude at breakfast.
You're out of touch.
Now, okay, so now again, remember this, and this is why I love this movie so much, because this interaction, this exchange is a very hostile exchange, but both men are maintaining a certain demeanor and a certain calm and choosing to express themselves in a certain way that still allows them to save dignity and self-respect as they interact, even though it's a very hostile exchange. That's something that I want you guys to understand.
You're forgetting the laws of the jungle looking down on me.
He said to him, first he said, you're out of touch. You're forgetting the laws of the jungle looking down on me.
Now when the silverback's got more silver than back.
When he says, when the silverback has more silver than back. So what he's saying is that when the boss, the boss guy, because this guy's a boss, Michael, he said when the boss has more money than he has like the spine and the fortitude to get money, it's not a good look. Again, this is what I'm talking about with command of language and how you could be so fucking cool and charismatic and elegant with the way you express yourself as a man. He says when the silverback has more silver than back, it's best he move on. Let me not ruin it for y'all. Let me just let it play through. This shit is fire.
Now when the silverback's got more silver than back, you best move on before he gets moved on.
Bars, nigga. That shit is bars. He says, When the silverback has more silver than back, he best move on or get moved on. This is exactly what his wife was telling him about in the previous scene, which is another indicator that he has chosen the right woman to be his wife, to be his partner, to be in submission to him, meaning a part of, to meaning under the mission. That's why he goes to his wife for counsel, because his wife said to him, when word gets out that you're getting out of the business, motherfuckers is gonna come for you. And if anything goes down, I'm gonna need you to remember, don't take care of it yourself. Make sure you get your goons to take care of it, because we can't afford any dirt on your name, but you getting your hands dirty with these niggas. You understand? And right in almost the very next fucking scene, you got this guy trying to get at his wife, offering her shit so he could get a meeting. Now he's in a meeting talking about when the silverback has more silver than back. And what he's talking about is, a gorilla is a very powerful being in the jungle, right? But when the silverback has more silver than back, meaning when you got more money than strength, meaning you're at a point now where you're trying to get out the life. That means you made too much money. That means you don't have that greed. You don't have that hustle mentality. You don't have that killer fucking instinct anymore. So you can't be at the top of the food chain. You can't be the king of the jungle no more. And that's what this young boy is coming to him, telling him. And that's what I'm saying to y'all. This is a very hostile conversation, but both men are choosing to have poise and maintain the demeanor that they want to maintain, because they have a certain image that they choose to express themselves with. You understand? So he says, when the silverback, meaning you, the powerful man at the top of the food chain, has more money than you have hustle and strength, it's best you move on, or else you're going to get moved on. I'm gonna pull that back one time. Hold on.
Silverback's got. And when the silverback's got more silver than back, you best move on before he gets moved on.
And that shit is bars, bro. I'm sorry. That shit is bars, bro. Anyway, and I want you to also notice, if you hear something in the background, it sounds like there's water pouring. He's actually, while this man is talking, he's actually pouring himself a cup of tea. This is how, like I said, even though it's a hostile conversation, it's a hostile interaction, the poise is ridiculous. Niggas pouring himself a cup of tea, chilling, listening to this young nigga threaten him on some gangster shit. And he's chilling, just, okay, I got you.
It's not dignified. It's beneath you, Michael.
He's telling him what's beneath him and all this shit. Disrespectful little motherfucker.
Trying to do you a favor.
He said, I'm trying to do you a favor. Let me tell you something. If you a man who know who the fuck you are, and another man come to you and tell you that he's trying to do you a favor, you know how disrespectful that shit is? Want some man shit? Because check this out. If I know who I am, I know where my bread is buttered. I know where I get my pussy from. I know where to get my resources. I have my business established. My compound is secure. You coming to me for something. You're coming to me for something. I'm the lion, right? I'm the silverback gorilla of the jungle. I'm good. And you come to me telling me that you're trying to do me a favor? Nigga, you might as well have just spit in my fucking face. But see, that's the type of innuendo that a lot of young men, they have no idea about. You understand? When you don't understand language, when you don't understand expression, when you don't understand a man's code, when you don't understand the culture of what being a man is, a motherfucker could spit in your face verbally and you would never know, because you're just not there. You just don't understand what's going on as far as the intellect and as far as the expression and the elegance of the verbiage. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why I love this movie so much, because it shows a culture of manhood on so many different levels, bro. You understand? I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. Hold on.
You best move on before he gets moved on. It's not dignified. It's beneath you, Michael. Trying to do you a favor.
All right, so let me see. All right, so that's the end of that scene. Again, I don't want to give too much of this movie away because a lot more happened with that scene. But so in this scene now, it's another scene. I think Colin Farrell is in this scene, and Colin Farrell is at like a deli ordering some food, and some young fucking punks come up and like try to cut in line to order the food. You understand? And Colin Farrell kind of has to teach them a lesson. But I'm gonna let it play, and then I'll let you guys I'll let you know, and then we'll discuss.
Boss, let me get 2 burgers on the store. Get that quick. And I'm 2 chips as well. What is the smell of wee in here?
All right, so you heard the young boy. He said, "Let me get 2 burgers and 2 chips." So in the UK and London and shit, chips is fries. So he asked. So Colin Farrell is at the front of the line, and then this little nigga comes up and he's like, "Yo, let me get 2 burgers and 2 chips and blah blah blah." And then so this is Colin Farrell responding to the bullshit. Hold on, here it is.
Get that quick. And I'm 2 chips as well. What is the smell of wee in here? The fuck is this joke, man? Don't stand near me, son.
Now I see somebody in the chat. Orlando Campbell says, "Smell of weed." That's not what he said. He said there's a smell of wee in here, meaning wee wee. Wee wee is a lot of you may not know, but wee wee is like pee pee. So what he's saying is it smells like urine in here, like some fucking young baby boy done pissed his pants. Again, language, dialogue, expressing yourself a certain way. You understand? You could be so insulting to someone and they don't even get it. You understand? But the kids know what he's talking about, though. That's why it's like, who's this joker, man? Like, they're like, who's this nigga talking shit? So let it go.
The smell of wee in here. The fuck is this joke, man? Don't stand near me, son.
He said, "Don't stand near me, son." Like, back the fuck up. Like, what do you...
You got your mouthwash muddled up with cat piss.
he said, "Don't stand near me, son. You got your mouthwash mixed up with cat piss. That means your fucking breath smell like you've been gargling with cat piss.
Take 2 steps back and wait your turn.
Take 2 steps back and wait your turn." You understand? Because I'm at the front of the line making my order. You run up talking about, "Let me get 2 burgers and 2 chips, man." You know what I'm saying? This nigga Colin Farrell is like, "Yo, back up, wait your turn." You know what I'm saying? Because your fucking mouth smell like cat piss and shit.
Yeah, fuck off, old man.
See, so there you go. Fuck off, old man. You know, these young boys, right? They see him, he's an older guy. You know, they don't got no respect for him, whatever. Fuck off, old man.
Wet ya. The only thing.
Yeah, so sorry, he says. All right, oh.
Yeah, fuck off, old man. I'll wet ya. The only thing you can wet your underpants, son.
So again, and this has a lot to do with the movie too. Shout out to Guy Ritchie and whoever wrote the dialogue. Might have been Guy Ritchie because he writes a lot of dialogue for his movies too. So he kept with, if you notice, he kept with the basically the urine theme, right? So they walk in, they try to make the order and skip him in line, and he says, "There's a smell of wee in here," right? The urine. And then he says, "You have your mouthwash muddled up with cat piss." More urine talk, right? And then he said, the guy says, "Hey, fuck off, old man, or I'll wet you." So what he's saying, he had a knife, and I don't want to ruin the scene too much. But anyway, he's talking about stabbing him because even over here when we say I'll wet you, they talking about shooting you, and then you're bleeding and shit. You get wet from bleeding. So that's what the kid said. He said, "I'll wet you," and then and he was like, "The only thing you can wet is your fucking pants." So again, it's the dialogue, right? He's sticking with the urine theme. I'm gonna pull it back a little bit.
You got your mouthwash muddled up with cat piss. Take 2 steps back and wait your turn. Yeah, fuck off, old man. I'll wet you. The only thing you can wet your underpants, son. Now, back 2 steps. Trigger. Come on, chew. You're up, tough one. Yeah.
All right, so he took out the knife. So they think about doing something to this nigga. So they running up on him.
I'm chefing, bro. Fucking do it. Fucking do it. Now, if you're gonna stab trigger. Don't, dance.
So he says, if you're gonna stab trigger. don't dance because so in the scene the dude was like hesitating, like flexing on him and shit, like. So he smacked the knife out of his hand and did some move to him, some martial arts move or some shit.
What are you, like a Four Tops tribute act or something?
He said, "Are you guys like the Four Tops tribute act or something?"
The Four Skins.
The Four Skins.
Redskins. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Here come the Indians. Bit of the old Northern soul, is it, boys? Putting the gay back in Marvin Gaye.
He said, y'all putting the gay back in Marvin Gaye. So he's talking about singers and, they look like a dance group running up on him.
I'm on fire over here, lads. Come on, I need some back and forth. Come on, what do you got for me? What do you got for me? Now make it quick. Make it funny. Fuck you. Jeez, that's disappointing. No.
All right, so he said, what do you guys got? He already smacked the knife out your boy's hand. What do y'all got for me? And the kid was like, fuck you. And again, the average person, if somebody walks up to you and says, fuck you, you ready to lose it. This, again, being a gentleman, I think a big theme in this movie is choosing your countenance, choosing your poise, choosing the character you want to express to the world, even when people are coming at you, even when people are attacking you, even when people are fucking with you, you maintain your level of countenance. And it has to be a choice because, bro, I'm saying somebody comes at me with a knife, I'm going to feel threatened. You understand? But in this scene, Colin Farrell's character is showing his poise because that's the world that he deals with. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's the world that he deals with. So he maintains his poise, even though the guy's fucking little teenage kids trying to come up and stab him in broad daylight. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But he's maintaining his poise because he understands the world that he's in and he chooses how to express himself. He doesn't lose his shit like, oh my God, there's a bunch of kids trying to fucking stab me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You understand? That's a huge part of being a man, being a gentleman, having a culture and a code of maintaining your identity.
Oh, not that. Go again. Now, make it sharp. Cut me with it. Fucking do him, lad. Fucking do him. I'm fucking doing it. Oh, shit. Come on, you dickhead. Back to where?
So he's fucking them up. You got to see this movie, man. You got to fucking see this movie. Yo. So this is like I said, this is Colin Farrell. He's fucking their ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my eyes. You are embarrassing yourself here, lad.
He's like, you guys are embarrassing yourselves here.
Kids stab, girls shoot, boys punch, grown-ups fight with their heads. That's what.
You see, he said kids stab. Wait, hold on. Let's see.
Jeez, that's disappointing. No, not that.
Hold on.
Go again. Now, make it sharp. Cut me with it. Fucking do him, lad. Fucking do him. I'm fucking doing it. Oh, shit. Come on, you dickhead. Back to where? My eyes. You are embarrassing yourself here, lads. Kids stab, girls shoot, boys punch, grown-ups.
Kids stab, girls shoot, boys punch, but grown-ups fight with their mind. Their mind. This is what it did. Like, again, another great theme of this movie, which is why I want you guys to see this movie. It's with your mind. Like I said, your choice of expression, your choice of dress, the choice to keep your house clean, the choice to keep yourself, to make sure you're healthy, to make sure you work out, to make sure you eat right and all that. Everything's a choice. Your mind, your identity, who you are, who you choose to be, what you own, what you own up to. You understand? It all makes a difference.
Fight with our heads.
Fight with your head. Fight with your mind. Remember what the guy was talking about? The ownership of your wardrobe. Every look has a season. Every season has a strategy. So even with your wardrobe, you're fighting with your mind. Like you're using your mind to combat anything in your expression. You understand?
That's where the real battle is. Up here in the grave. Now wake up, lads. Life's quick. You're slow. Life's.
Yo, he said, wake up, lads. Life is quick and you're slow. That's some heavy shit. Life is quick and you're slow. It's the same shit with a lot of you dudes trying to holler at these females. Yeah. Maybe. Hey, can I get your number? What do you want? Nah, you got to be quick. You got to have a plan in place. You got to know what you want. You got to, like I say, I approach these women. Yo, anybody have a problem with us going out for a drink Friday night? I'm asking like 3 different questions in one. You understand what I'm saying? Because number 1 is, are you available Friday night? Number 2, you want to go out for a drink? Number 3, is there anybody in your life that have a problem with that? And that could be anything. I don't give a fuck if you got a man, if you got a kid, whatever you got. I don't give a fuck with anyone or anything you know of would stop us from going to go out for a drink Friday night. Because my brain is quick. And when she says some shit, I can take it and bring it back. But see, that only comes from experience. That's what the numbers game is about. That's what, approaching a lot of different girls, going out on dates, matching with a bunch of girls and meeting up with these girls face to face, dealing with the flakes, dealing with the ghosts, dealing with all of it. And understand that it's a part of the game. So your mind can become fast. You start to recognize the patterns. You start to see the code in the matrix. So when shit starts to happen, your mind is just as fast as whatever the fuck is going on. And then you know exactly how to move. And then you have a better handle on how you want to express yourself as a man. You have a better handle of your identity. And once you understand your identity, you understand how to respond to life. Masculine identity membership coming soon. This is heavy, heavy shit. You guys got to watch this movie, man.
Hard in the bone top. Come on down to the gym. We'll see what we can do with you.
He said, come on down to the gym. We'll see what we could do with you. So apparently, this guy owns a gym. and notice, he fucked these kids up. He beat their ass, right? But at the end of the ass whooping, he's still like, yo, come down to the gym. Maybe we could figure something out for you guys. Because there's no hate. He doesn't hate these kids. He know that they just kids. And they're going to do dumb shit. And they're going to try to fucking be disrespectful and flex their muscles and, not understand what's going on in life. But he understands that at the end of the day, even after I bust your ass, like, yo, come on down to the gym. Maybe I could see what I could do for you. Maybe I could teach you something. Maybe I could show you something. Maybe I could help you get on the right track. Because obviously you're not on the right track. Because I bust all 4 of y'all ass in this place. And y'all had knives and everything. It was 4 of y'all. It was 4 of y'all plus y'all had knives. And none of y'all could even touch me. So you know what? At the end of the day, I don't even hate you. I'm not even angry at you. Not even angry at you. Come down to the gym. We'll see what we could do for you. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean when that's why, guys, man, you got to stay focused on what it is you're trying to do. Focus on your identity. Focus on your purpose. Focus on what it is you're really trying to do at the end of the day. That's why you can't get angry at these females for doing female shit. You can't get angry at females for ghosting. You can't get angry at females for flaking. Can't get angry at females for having boyfriends. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get angry at people in general. You got to love like how God loves. That's what allows you in the theme of, maintaining your character. You understand? You love yourself first, and that love you have of self allows you to understand what else is going on in the world. And that love you have of self allows you to respond correctly to the people around you. See, when I say understanding your own identity, understanding who you are, a big part of that is love. It's also loving who you are. Because to truly understand who you are is to love who you are. So you understand, well, this is how I think in terms of this. This is how I like to express myself. This is how I like to dress. This is how I like for my apartment to look and feel and how clean I like it to be. This is how I like to smell. This is the places I like to hang out. This is what I understand about who I am. This is what I love about who I am. So therefore I live it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing where when things happen in life, you can compartmentalize it. If a chick flakes, hey, that's what chicks do. And you can leave it where it is. So it doesn't affect your ego. You understand? Oh, a chick ghosted. Oh, the date didn't work out. She didn't want to kiss or she didn't want to come back to the crib. She didn't want to smash that night. That's what chicks do. That's what happens on dates. But see, I understand who I am. So I already forgive you for the bullshit. That's how God loves. God loves in that way where it's like, I made you. You understand? I already know you're a sinner. I already know that you're imperfect. Being human is the imperfection. I get that. So when you do shit that disappoints me, I'm only disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. Just like in this scene, them kids coming at him with the knives and shit, that's just a disappointment to him. He's not angry at them. He doesn't hate them. He didn't bust their ass because he wanted to hurt them. He bust their ass because he wanted to teach them something. Like he said, the battle is up here in the brain.
In the grave. Fuck me up, bro. Now wake up, lads. Life's quick. You're
I love that shit. Wake up, lads. Life's quick.
slow.
You're slow.
Life's hard in a bone top. Come on down to the gym. We'll see what we can do with you. Hang on. Are you the coach?
See that? He said, hang on, are you the coach? His name is, he's known through the hood. These kids just made a mistake and didn't realize who he was. But one of them realized, when he said, come down to the gym, one of them was like, wait, hold on. Are you the coach? See, and that's another thing with understanding your identity and loving your identity, loving who you are. When you do that, what it does is it fills your life with a certain level of purpose and a reason why. And when you fill your life with a level of purpose and a reason why, you start to do things that speak directly to who you are. And as you do those things, what do? You build up a reputation. So the same way that you see the patterns in the matrix and you see the patterns in the dating flow, and you realize when a girl says this, I say that. And when a girl does this, I do that. And if she flakes, I just move on and keep it moving and there's no problem. It's the same thing with you, where your identity allows you to affect the world in a certain pattern. And as you affect the world in a certain pattern, your identity begins to build on itself, and you create what's called a reputation. Your identity starts to become a symbol in the world. So, for example, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Even though Kevin Samuels is not here anymore, his consistency in how he did his thing left a mark. It left a reputation. It left an expression of his identity that can stand alone, separate from the man. Like, you ever seen that scene in I think it was Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, where they talk about Batman, I need for Batman to become a symbol. I need for Batman to become something for people to believe in, something separate from the man. That's what it's about. You understand? So when you love yourself, when you understand your identity, you start to interact with the world in a certain dynamic, in a certain paradigm. And so as you start to affect the world the way you choose to affect the world, you begin to build up a reputation, a culture, a pattern of how you choose to interact and affect the world. So people begin to see a brand and connect that brand to your identity. You understand? And then that's when you'll begin to attract a certain quality and level of people to your life. That's why it's so important for you to go through all of these growing pains and get used to who you are as a man and understand what you're really about and start to love yourself. And then once you love yourself, you start to do things in the world to affect it a certain way. And then you attract certain people in your life. That's how it works. Masculine Identity membership coming soon. I shouldn't even do this video on a live, man. This video should have been on the fucking membership. Okay, this is the type of shit I'm gonna be talking about in the Masculine Identity membership. You understand? Where the kid says to him, hey, are you the coach? And he knows exactly who he's talking about. He didn't know the name of the coach. No. In this particular area of London or whatever, there's a name that everybody knows, and it's the coach. And after he beat their ass and said, come down to the gym, we'll see what we can do with you. The one of them was like, wait, are you the coach? That's because his identity built a reputation, built a brand. So now he realized, he came in contact with him, got his ass beat by him, and realized, oh shit, this is the coach. And so that level of respect is built in. Because see, when you respect yourself, you love yourself. Like I said, you affect the world in a certain pattern of vibration. Right? Like any of us, we come on this YouTube and we talk about certain things and we say things a certain way. So what it becomes a pattern, and it becomes a unique pattern that people look for. So people gonna click on my video and they know when I click on Miles Cunningham video, I'm gonna get this. And that's how he talks and that's how he expresses himself. And he uses his hands a lot and he wears shades and he's bald. And that's what I'm looking for. That right there. So that brand, that identity, over a period of time, it builds upon itself. And that's what's called a reputation. So that's how the kid knew, wait, are you the coach?
So while come on down to the gym, we'll see what we can do. Just hang on. Are you the coach?
So while you were discussing.
All right, so let me set up this scene. So this is basically like one of the last scenes of the movie. And so remember the guy I told you in the beginning, the main antagonist. You got the protagonist found out what the main antagonist was doing. And again, I don't want to give everything away. But this is dialogue between him and the antagonist when he found out what went down, and he's explaining to him the retribution. You understand? So check it.
My business after you fucked it. You somehow mistook so said Chinaman for someone else?
Business is business, Michael. It's nothing personal.
While I am not emotional about the money, there is a price indebted to me for the blood I've gotten on my hands.
While I'm not emotional about the money, there's a price indebted to me for the blood that I got on my hands. Because this dude did some shit, I had to go do some shit. And that's a cost. And I'm going to need that back.
Restoring order to the untidiness that you create.
You remember the first thing I talked about? The first thing I talked about when I started talking about themes to this movie is neatness, organized, and cleanliness. What did this man say? I had to, let me go, hold on.
This is business, Michael. It's nothing personal.
Look.
While I am not emotional about the money, there is a price indebted to me for the blood I've gotten on my hands, restoring order to the untidiness that you created.
Restoring order to the untidiness that you created. Restoring order to the untidiness that you created. Why? Because a man keeps his shit in order. Huge theme of the movie. Very huge theme of the movie. A man keeps his shit in order. His business, his life, his wardrobe, the way the neatness and tidiness of the words that he decides to use. I don't know if you guys notice, but there was a time when I first started doing YouTube videos, I said and all the fucking time. And now if you notice specifically, there are a lot of times when you hear a pause when I speak. And that's me practicing and making sure that I don't say and anymore. And I used to say a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I used to say a lot of that too. And I worked my way into, I mean, every once in a while I still say, you understand what I'm saying? But I try to work my way on that. I'm still working on that too, where I pause so I can choose my next word correctly, because I want to create a certain level of organization and tidiness in the words that I choose to speak when I'm expressing myself. The very big theme of this movie, The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie, very big theme. And I don't even know if he really, if it was a big deal to him necessarily. But this is something that I found out in this movie. And if you watch the movie, you'll probably pick up on different themes, or even you can find different themes yourself. But this is a very good movie, man. Very good movie. Pull it back a little bit.
This is business, Michael. It's nothing personal.
While I am not emotional about the money, There is a price indebted to me for the blood I've gotten on my hands, restoring order to the untidiness that you created. And that price, according to you, 400 minus 130, is $270 million.
$270 million. But that has more to do with, you know, the negotiations that they had before during the movie and all that. But that's a lot of money, though.
And I'm keeping the business.
And he's not even selling the business no more.
While you are getting in the freezer.
See, and that's a whole other thing about him not selling the business, because again, reputation, identity, a big part of his identity was the business that he held. And him making an attempt to sell that business and get out of the life, it's kind of like the universe said to him, man, that's not who you are. And sometimes that'll happen too. Sometimes when you create an identity and a reputation so heavy, you know, and this is why you have to be honest with yourself. This is why you have to be true to yourself. Because sometimes when you create a reputation, an identity, and you do it so effectively, sometimes the world, the universe, will let you know if you try to change, something bad might happen. You understand? And this is, and this philosophy, this observation of the human experience can be looked at in relationships, where you come into the relationship, you try to establish a certain identity with a woman, and then later on you try to change, or later on you try to do something. Either you were lying about your identity in the beginning, so whatever consistency you created was the lie, and then you tried to be honest, and then you fucked something up in the relationship, or you didn't have a total understanding of who you were when you met that woman, and you created a certain level of consistency, and then you decided to change later on, and then you fucked something up. I've lived through that. You understand? So, hold on. There's a crazy sirens out there. So we have to understand that this, like, identity, masculine identity membership coming soon. It's so heavy. Very, very heavy, guys. It's very, very heavy. Let me pull it back a little bit.
$1 million, and I'm keeping the business.
Right. So he's keeping the business, and you know, and right. I was trying to say that sometimes when you let the universe know who you are, even you can't lie to the universe. You know, if you ever watch any of these like gangster movies, and they'd be like, yo, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. A part of that is because even the universe knows who you really are. When you tell the universe who you truly are, the universe, if you start to fuck up, or if you stop being consistent like you should be, even the universe will remind you, like, nah, brother. Nope. The universe will let you know, nah, that's not who you are. You know that's not who you are, and you gotta have a conversation with the universe, like, fuck. So at the end of all this, he decided to keep the business. You understand? So this movie is so heavy, guys. Go watch this movie, The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie.
While you are getting in the freezer, and you will make that transaction if you want to get out of the freezer. It is 25 below zero in there, so I assume you'll last about an hour. That said, I wouldn't fuck about, because frostbite is very expensive on the fingers and toes, so I would type as quickly as possible while you have the use of them. After you have tended to that indiscretion, you can then deal with the next consequence of your short-sightedness. As stated, I am not emotional about the money. But I am emotional about the fact that someone laid their hands on my wife.
Okay, so that's another part of the movie. I gotta go see the movie, man. He said, I am, though I'm not emotional about the money, I am emotional about the fact that somebody laid their hand on my wife. You see, a man he's not gonna be emotional just for himself. A man can maintain his emotions and do what he needs to do for himself. But see, the family, the woman and children, a woman is a man's comfort. A woman is a man's recreation. A woman is a man's, with the right woman, not any woman, but the right woman. You know, you got a wife, you got a good thing going on. She's submissive. She understands who you are. Like I was saying before, in certain, you know, gentlemen's codes of gangster shit, there's certain things that you don't fucking touch. There's certain things that you leave alone. If you got a problem with me, you got a problem with me. You put a hit out on me, or you come do some gangster shit, we fight or shoot, whatever we doing. That's one thing. But wife, children, it's kind of like the if anybody saw Scarface, I'm sure a lot of you did. You know, he didn't want to blow up the car because the man's wife and kids was in the car. You understand? And Tony Montana's like, and Tony Montana lived by a code. I mean, ultimately, it was a part of his demise, and it is what it is. You got to be a man. You got to be willing to stand on what it is you believe in, and be willing to live and die for that shit. And that's what a lot of motherfuckers don't understand about manhood too. You know, it's sad in some ways, but you live and you die by the shit that you put out into this world. So it is what it is. But he explains, though he's not emotional about the money, he's emotional about the fact that somebody laid their hands on his wife. And he's about to get into that now. Look.
But I am emotional about the fact that someone laid their hands on my wife. My wife!
Okay, now, and this is some movie shit. And shout out to Guy Ritchie for this. I want y'all to notice throughout the whole movie, having gangster conversations, having hostile conversations, people threatening him to his face and all this. He never broke his poise. He never broke his expression. But in this particular incident, he's talking about the fact that somebody fucked with his wife, laid their hands on his wife physically. This was the first time he broke his poise. And you notice that they made the music swell in the background. I'm gonna play it again so you understand what I'm talking about. But this is good movie making. This is good storytelling. Because like I said, if you look at the theme, the whole movie, a whole bunch of hostile shit happened, but he never broke his poise. He never broke his demeanor. But when it came to that special thing, his wife, it broke. Look.
But I am emotional about the fact that someone laid their hands on my wife. My wife!
You hear that? The music changed. The music was calm. And then he said, my wife. He said, my wife! And then the shit, boom, like to let you know that, you know, again, that's the theme of this, of certain worlds, there's a gentleman's code where you could fuck with me all day. Like, shout out to Will Smith, right? You know, I mean, I don't know if that world is the same code, but you know, because he was a comedian at the Oscars, so that's a different story. But you know, Will Smith exercised a part of that code in that whole Oscar shit, right? Because he said, you know, he slapped the shit out of him, and then he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. You understand? And see, you got to be careful with the shit, because sometimes, you know, you got to understand what your wife really is to you. In this situation, I feel a little bit more like I'm a little bit more down with this, because if you look at the story in the movie, like I said, his wife is submissive. His wife looks out for him, and his wife makes sure she is looking out for his best interests. You understand? So I could understand why he would break his demeanor for his wife. And ultimately, if I'm gonna play the rest of the scene, he only broke his demeanor for that split second, explaining what it was. You understand? He still kind of kept it together, but I think it was an expression to let him know, like, bro, you crossed the fucking line. You crossed the line. You did something to my wife. You don't do that shit. If we gangsters, then we gangsters, but you don't fuck with my family. You understand what I'm saying? But this was a definite theme of the movie. And that's why the music changed and everything like that. Guy Ritchie, I'm telling you, Guy Ritchie's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, you know, check out his other movies, Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels, Snatch, and this shit.
Someone laid their hands on my wife. My wife! No amount of money on God's green earth can pay for that transgression, Matthew.
You see? And notice he came right back. He broke his demeanor for a hot second, then he came right back. And then he started to explain no amount of money can pay for that transgression. Because you fucking crossed the line, homie. We supposed to be businessmen and gangsters, and you because of your action, somebody laid their hands on my wife. My wife! You understand? Like you don't fuck with a man's wife, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you don't do. Certain things you don't do unless you just straight on some disrespectful shit and you're willing to lose your life over some shit. There's certain things you just don't do. You understand? You don't break certain unspoken agreements between you and another man. You know, and that's a theme of this movie. Why? Because these men know who they are. Like I said, these men are well dressed, they're well spoken, they know how to express themselves, and so on and so forth. So when you break the code, when you fuck around, there is a high price to pay. Because you're dealing with somebody that knows who they are. You're dealing with somebody that loves themselves. So when you do some shit to spurn me, or more importantly, like an extension of me that has nothing to do with this situation, then we got real problems.
My wife! No amount of money on God's green earth can pay for that transgression, Matthew. No, for that. I want a pound of flesh.
He said, no amount of money can pay for that transgression. For that, I want a pound of flesh. And I'm going to leave it right there. So he let him know that you can't pay me. Like you see again, another example. He fucked with his business. And because he fucked with his business, there's some things that he had to do that he didn't want to do. And he said, you know, for that, you're going to have to pay me. You understand? You're going to have to give me some money to rectify that situation. And that's that. And I'm not even emotional about that, but that's what's going to happen because you fucked up. And I had to fix the untidiness that you created. So you got to pay me that $270 million. Cool. But when it came to his wife, he said, I'm going to need a pound of flesh from you. A pound of because he crossed the line, but business is business, right? We in business to make money. So in order to repay what you did trying to fuck up my business, you got to give me some money. Cool. But you fucked with my wife, though. Somebody laid their hands on my wife. I don't even lay hands on my wife. And somebody laid their hands on my wife. That's different. That's fucking with that's fucking with a gentleman's code. That's fucking with a gangster's code, a businessman's code. You understand? So he's like, for that, I need a pound of flesh. He said more. I don't want to give it away, but he said, you're going to have to give me a pound of flesh. You're going to have to give me a pound of flesh. So, I think, shit, it's almost 2 hours. So I think I broke down the movie as hard as I could, man. And shout out to that caller that called in the other day that gave me the idea. If y'all was on the live, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, let me see who's up in here with us. Certified Tyrone, Andrew Taylor, Shozan Hanma, Sterling Sapien, Osho Simplified, Tamba, Datsun, Jay Bird, Fierce Soul, Don Coolio, Sterling, Lord Jefferson, Explode. What up? What up? What up? What up? Pervish. All right. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Orlando. What up? Thanks for hanging out with me. Lexington. Sex Chat. KC, Mr. Serial. All right. Snuggles. Y'all nigga with these names, man. Oh, man. Money Mitch. What up? What up? I like that name, Money Mitch. PDGAF. What up? Yeah, right now, if you got Netflix right now, it's on Netflix. I guess in the North America Netflix, because I know if you're in different parts of the world, Netflix is different. So if you're in North America, the North America Netflix has The Gentleman on it right now. So go watch it. Go watch it, man. It's a good movie, you know, some man shit, you know, a lot of dialogue, and you know, I don't, you know, it's not a lot of that, you know, social justice, women empowerment bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good movie, good storytelling, good dialogue, and you know, it's on some gangster shit, and the themes are very masculine, and I appreciate the movie, and I think movies like this should be celebrated and watched. You understand? And like I said, Guy Ritchie also directed two other movies that I really like that are in a similar vein to this movie. And the first one is called Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. The second one is called Snatch, and it stars Jason Statham and Brad Pitt. All right, really cool movies, man. Go check those out, and make sure y'all go watch The Gentleman. And this was my breakdown of The Gentleman. Hope you guys appreciated it. And remember, look out for the Masculine Identity membership coming real soon. All right. So it's your boy Miles Cunningham. Always remember, the truth is inside you.